Yo, sitting here today, we got the vitamin list here. I had to take a picture with my other phone and then be able to expand it because I can't read it on the thing. Okay, but this is the multi supplement I'm taking. So this is what it has. Vitamin A is beta carotene, 10,000 IU, which is 200% DV. Vitamin C as ascorbate, 300 milligram, which is 500%. Vitamin E, which is 400 IU, which is 1,333%, as dialpha trocopherol acetate. Then I got vitamin K, 50 mcg, which is 63%. Folate, 400 mcg, which is 33%. Boron, as boron citrate, 1 milligram. We got calcium from calcium citrate and dicalcium phosphate, 100 milligram, 10%. Iodine from kelp, which is 225 mcg, which is 150. Magnesium from magnesium oxate, chelate, and stearate, 200 milligram, 50%. Copper from copper citrate, 1 milligram, 50%. Magnesium from magnesium citrate. No, that's manganese from manganese citrate, 5 milligram, which is 50%. Chromium from chromium polynicotinate, 200 mcg, which is 167. Energy profile. Vitamin B1 through thiamine, 50 mg. Vitamin B2, riboflavin, 50 mg. Vitamin 3 as niacinamide, 50 mg. Vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, 50 mg. Vitamin 6 as pyrodioxide, HCI, 50%, or 50 mg, which is 2,500%. And then vitamin B12 as methylcobalamin, which is 500 mg, which is 8,333%. Biotin, 300 mcg, which is 100%. And then we got the prostate health profile, again with the vitamin D3, 1,000 units at 250%. Zinc from zinc monomethylnithiolame, 30 mg, 200%. Selenium from L whatever. Selenium, 200 mcg, which is 280%. Saw palmetto, 50 mg. Tomato extract. Tomato extract, which is 5% lycopene for the 5 milligram. The antioxidant profile, we got MSM, 100 milligram. Green tea leaf extract, 98% polyphenols, 50 mg. Alpha lipoic acid, 15 mg. Coenzyme Q10, 10 mg. Cyanogenol, Pisigenol, 10 mg. Grapeseed extract, 10 mg. Lutein, 10 mg. Piperine, 10 mg. Fruits and greens profile. All this is 200 mg. So you got alfalfa powder extract, carrot powder, wheatgrass powder, which says tritiacum, acetyltrol, L1, chlorophyll, broccoli powder, acacia root, and celery seed extract. Other ingredients: capsule shell is gelatin. So that's yeah, you take 2 pills and that's what that is right there. that's this. So if you want to pause this thing and open it up, see, I just read it off of this deal because I can't read it. I gotta make it big. See what I'm saying? I gotta make it big so I can see what the heck it says. That's what I just read to y'all. See, I read it. I reads it. Yay! And I've been drinking this here. This seems to be the best tasting water in a 6-pack at Walmart. These are 1 liter bottles. So that's like 6 liters. And it's about $8.90. This run me about $35. I don't like that they're blue. It's kind of weird. I tell you, I'm taking my little blue pill. Hey, trying to stay healthy, right? And then, no, I only take 1 a day. I don't take 2. And I don't take them every day. And then I start out my day with my collagen peptides. I get the refill, which is bigger, and I just keep filling that up. Then I do a scoop of the creatine, whichever powder I can find. And then I do 3 days a week the baking soda, brush my teeth with the baking soda, and then I do the other toothbrush with the coconut oil every day. So I do that. That's kind of my routine. I got the powder stuff. I don't do this every day, but if I feel a little frisky, you know, it's been a hard day, you know, you're gonna have a good day. You know, just feel a little bit frisky. I will do the MCT powder and the cocoa and the coffee. And then I found this stuff, which is a squirt of the Pure. That's a Pure squirt. That's a stevia squirt. It's organic, sweetener, liquid extraction, stevia leaf. It does not have the dextrose. So I was using the little packets of stevia, and then like they started putting dextrose in all of it. I was like, well, you son of a gun. Like it was just stevia for the longest time, and now it's stevia and dextrose. So I don't know if they were lying to begin with, or they added the bad stuff in there, but this don't do no glycemic index. I'm going to tell you right now, there's something in your head. If your head is expecting sweet, you're going to make, it's going to trigger your body to produce some insulin to deal with the sugar, because it's expecting sugar, right? So it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It ain't really a duck, but you're ready for a duck. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. And this company here, they also have some granular. It's kind of high, but it's about twice. You got to cut your dosage in half. So like if you want to, put it in your coffee or your tea or whatever, because I got some green tea and stuff. I just made, I got 2 things of vitamins. I was supposed to give it to them for Christmas. I just now found it. And so I kept the Christmas gifts I was supposed to give away yesterday. Got in a hurry. And I still got the cereal up there and everything. I was at Post and I hauled some cereal, and they give away, like if the pallet breaks, they can't sell it. So they had all this stuff that you give. So I got grape nuts and instant oatmeal, all kinds of stuff. I got about 30 boxes of that stuff, but I don't eat it. You know what I mean? So I just been driving around with it in case it's the apocalypse. When if there ain't nothing at the store, I'll eat it. I guarantee you that. In between squirrels, we're eating some freaking grape nuts, I guess. And anyway, this is going off the rails. I got some of this the other day because apparently if you use Himalayan salt, seasoned salt, slap your mama, and Mediterranean sea salt, and then a little bit of regular salt, because I didn't realize my vitamin had iodine, then you need this. And this is ammonium. Get your shit together. I did a whole... there was like this joke, like the best thing, one of the gag gifts for Christmas is give them ammonium and put a little note in there and say, here you go, get your shit together or whatever. And then, like we was thinking about commercials one time, I totally should have done this. I should have done this and sent it in to like, however to get paid. I got to look into that. Monetize my laughter. Check. Okay, so like, see just like a picture of my dad, he's just like full beard, old, you know what I mean? It just seemed just sitting out there rocking. You know what I mean? And then all these different things about ammonium. Get your shit together. And then there'll be like crazy situation. It pans over to Dad. He's just like, Imodium, get your shit together. There was about, I came up with about 13 of them. I did record them, and they were on this channel, but the YouTube got me for like, I don't know, 6 years worth of videos, man. They just wiped me out, and that was bad. Anyway, on days that I am not supplementing, I have my potassium, and then I do a K2 and D3 for absorption, and I do an additional D3. Well, I was doing this before I got the other. These are wee little. And it turns out D3, this is not a vitamin, this is a hormone. So like your vitamins and your minerals directly affect your head. You know what I mean? Where they say your cheese is about half off a cracker. It ain't no good. And then I bought this one time. And I bought this at the store. And yeah, I took it like, I took it twice. And then I found them other ones. And then when I was comparing the two, like, I think this is a piece of chalk. You know what I mean? Like, the other ones are capsule, and it's got all that stuff, and then like, I was like, how the hell? I'm sure you've thought of this. How do they have all this stuff in one of these deals? See that was trucker finger right there. You're opening the stupid washer fluid. You got to poke that thing. They make it like Fort Knox with them things. Okay, so this way, you got this. Now, I don't know why they made it blue. I might even take it out. I might open that up and dump it in my coffee or something. Because I don't know about eating that blue. Kind of weird. I think they did it for promotional purposes. Okay, but then you got this one here. Let's do a little comparison. I like the way that other bottle actually opens too. Okay, now this one here. So this is drastically different. Okay, so these are drastically different. This is I think this is chalk, and I think this is powder inside a capsule. Okay, and then they got like this, like when you're eating your probiotics, there's a company called Seed. Okay, SEED probiotics, and they got one of these, and then it's got a pill inside of it too. So your probiotics, like when you're eating your yogurt and all that, and you think you're getting it, well, that stuff's got to make it through your stomach into your intestines. Well, your stomach acid's killing all of it. So it's like, oh wow, here's this little squirt of, you know, up 2 million bacteria that's supposed to be good for me. Well, guess what? The stomach acid eats it. So then, like, it don't get to where it's supposed to be. Well, that capsule inside the capsule, it actually makes it on through. And that's one of the things about the, like your kimchi and your sauerkraut and stuff like that. The reason why that's effective is the biomass actually passes through, and the acid's like bubbling it up and dissolving it, but some of it actually makes it on through to your large intestine to affect your biome and all that. That's why here a while back, I guess they figured it out or whatever, but there was a thing where you could poop in a sack and send it to them, and then they would give you money. I was like, man, that must be good shit. If somebody's going to pay for it. There's 1,000 jokes there, too. Anyway, sorry for being gross. So, yeah. The pill, inside the pill, you eat it, and it'll bubble up on the outside or whatever, but then the next one will make it, and then it ain't until it's digested later that it actually opens up, like a time release type of deal. So your probiotics actually get to your intestines where you need them. So if you're on a routine of antibiotics because you're sick, and then you come off of that, and you get with that seed supplement, Seed, SEED, is the name of the company. There's a guy that promotes it or whatever like that. I don't know what it costs, but his channel is Modern Wisdom. You could probably watch some of that and get you a little 10% off or whatever. But I sent the wife down to check her nutritionals. You know what I mean? Make sure she's, you know, check her MFKCR genetics to see if she's actually processing this stuff. And Because like if you can't process folate, you need methylfolate, and then your body can't actually absorb it. So there's, are you getting it from your food? And then can you process it, right? And then like, did the doctor help you, but in the process killed everything, and now you need to rework your microbiome inside your guts. Okay, and then when you see these people that just live like a hog, like me or Dennis, that like, I mean, I chew my fingernails off and use it as a toothpick. Everybody's like, oh, you're gross, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, probably so, but guess what? I was getting that bacteria and all that kind of stuff, and then because I'm picking my teeth, I'm rubbing bacteria onto my gums, and it turns out, just like you chew tobacco and you get the tobacco into your system, I was getting the yuck straight to my bloodstream or whatever, which created an environment that was it was necessary for me to have a strong immune system. I was strengthening my immune system by living like a pig. And you know, all these people, they're just figuring out what it's like to live at the end of the last dirt road. They're like, well, what did the caveman do? Well, I don't know, but in Pangs, Oklahoma, if you drive for about 45 minutes into the woods and then just try to live in an old run-down trailer house with a hole in the ground to get water out of, do that from about, 5-6 years old to about 15 and just make it work type of deal. My God. Apparently everybody else has back problems and stuff like that. Like, dude, I can sit in this chair and drive. I hear truckers all the time complaining about their back hurts. Hey, dude, I was a roofer. Like, I would lean over and start roofing, and I used to tell them guys, if you got time to sit down, get off my roof. And it would be like 100 degrees outside, so if you step on hot shingles, you leave footprints, because that tar gets soft, then you step on it, and you try to work your way up, so as your foot kicks back, it'll just make a mess. And but if you lay them fast enough, they're still cold, and your feet don't sweat. So that was the trick, was to move fast enough, because you got to lay this row out, and then you got to step over here and start laying this row out. So you got about 20 minutes in the sun before you're leaving footprints. So you got to do a bundle every 20 minutes at a minimum. And you got to finish the side before you can take a break at all. So, yeah, we call that just a getting it. And the most I ever did consistently over the course of about a week, roofing 2 houses a day, was 7 square per hour. So 7 square, 10 foot by 10 foot is an actual roofing square. So like a square is 3 bundles of shingles. So I was nailing on 21 bundles of shingles per hour. Okay, so your average house is about 40 square nowadays. Back then it was closer to 30. Most of them were 30. Like, I could roof a trailer. I could tear off a trailer house and roof it back by myself with no help whatsoever. Start at like 5:30 in the morning, and I would be going home with a check by about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And that was every day. That was just the pace. Like, that was I remember one time I was up there on the roof, and I roofed the whole back of the house. There was 3 guys roofing the front. Now, I had a nice straight shot, and they had dormers on the front, so it was cut up, so it takes time. But I just had a nice flat run or whatever, and I roofed the whole back of the house. And I get up there to the top, and you want to stay a little ways down and pop a line. That way you're real straight going to the peak. That way from the ground looking up, you look professional and not squirrely. You know what I mean? Because if it's kind of squirrely, which if you know what you're doing, you don't even need to pop the line. A lot of times I did not pop a line, but anyway. So I stopped about right to pop the line, and I looked over, and those 3 guys were halfway across the front. And I stopped right there. This is what cell phones do. This is like the old brick IKEA, the 2170 or whatever, where you used to have to push the button 3 times to make a letter to text. I was on one of those phones, and I called my dad, and I was just like, thank you for being an asshole to me. And he was like, I guess, and just hangs up on me, because he's an asshole, right? So when I was a kid, I said, Dad, I need some shoes. And he said, you don't need shoes, you need a job. And he just walked over, got in the semi-truck, and drove off. I didn't see him for 3 months, right? Well, in that 3 months, I was like, well, how am I going to get a job? I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I walked, half a mile to the neighbor's house or whatever. I'm like, hey, I need a job that way. You got anything I can do around here or whatever? I got to try to get some school clothes bought up. I need some shoes and stuff. He said, well, you can mow my grass or whatever. He said, there's a lawnmower over there. I was like, all right. So I mowed. I did a good job. And didn't even ask what I was getting paid or whatever. And then the guy says to me, he says, well, I'll tell you what. He said, why don't you just mow everybody's grass? You go ahead and use that lawnmower if you keep my yard mowed too. So my payment was use of the lawnmower. Right? So I learned barter right then and there. And I had seen my grandpa earlier do stuff like that too. And there was a lot of that. We'd trade knives. You know what I mean? And, it was Oklahoma, right? So, like, they call weed the cash crop, the Oklahoma cash crop. Everybody had 3 or 4 plants growing somewhere. Like, when you hear about the Indians and the peace pipe and all that, that was where the Indians got together and they brought their best weed and they smoked some weed. They're like, oh, well, that's pretty good. The other was like, hey, that's pretty good or whatever, you know what I mean? And they sat around the fire